Annyeong, I'm back again with another trip to Korea. Just enjoying some lounge food. As you guys can see right here, before I go on my flight. Hopefully, I give you guys some good footage during my trip to Korea with the different people I meet, as well as the businesses and things like that. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this trip, and I'll see you guys with this video. So, what am I taking with me with my trip to Korea? So, as you guys know, I'm going on quite a long trip, 3 weeks. So let's go over each individual item that I am bringing. That's quite important. Now, one of the things is actually quite large, and I've already put it away in my check-in bag, but it's going to be the top part of my RS5. So I got myself a RS5 gimbal. This is the battery portion, because obviously you cannot put a battery in the check-in bag. So we're going to keep that separate and put this in my backpack, which, if you guys are curious what backpack I'm using, this is my backpack. This is a Coach backpack I purchased myself quite a long time ago. It's actually quite useful. It has a lot of compartments in here and quite large as well. So I can put and store a lot of stuff in here. It's got extra compartments as well on the top. It's got a compartment for like the laptop as well inside. So as you can see inside here, there's going to be a backpack compartment, like a laptop compartment. And then I have a lot of space and I have easy access from the back. So if I wanted to take quick photos and stuff, for example, I can just quickly put and open this up for my laptop, for my backpack, for my camera, which is going to be this one. So all my videos, if you guys have noticed, have been shot by this camera right here. It's a Sony ZV-E1, and the lens is a Tamron G2. It's a 28 to 75 millimeter camera, which is quite good. I'm going to actually have to clean this before, of course, I take off tomorrow, just because, you know, I want to make sure there's no dust and anything inside. And then I'm also going to be taking this mic. So it's going to be a shotgun mic that I'm going to put on the shoe, and it's going to connect, and that way I can be able to record certain audio depending on what kind of shots I want to do, especially if I do end up, you know, meeting some people, want to do interviews and stuff like that, or even just to shoot myself. We can do that. I'm considering though if I want to take my 24 millimeter lens as well. I also will take this mouse with me. So this is the Logitech MX Master 4. I just want to have some kind of mouse with me because I am taking my laptop with me here, which I will probably end up editing some videos to post as well. So this is going to be important for me to keep and have everything for that. I'll also take my Pocket 3. So I don't have a Pocket 4, but I do have a Pocket 3. The Creator Combo has the DJI mic as well as Pocket 3 and a carrying case and everything. So I'll be taking this. Then I have this old power bank. It's an Anker power bank from a long time ago. I don't think they even sell this anymore, actually. So it's a very, very old power bank, the RAV Power. It still does a 20 watt charging. So 20 volt charging is available on this thing. It has one USB-C, one USB 3.0, which is more than enough, honestly. And it has 20,000 milliamp hour battery. So this thing helps a lot. It's not the fastest charging, but it's enough for the stuff I have. And I use this cable. This is probably the best cable to take with me because it also has a lot of power and speed. So even if I don't use the full speed for like my power bank, it's just good for moving data over into my laptop. I always take an adapter with me, so I have this Anker adapter here. Well, it's not too bad in pricing. It works everywhere. Also has its own USB-C ports in here, so it works really well. Like helps me go around to the world, charge things I need to. I can just take this alone, or I can take this with an adapter, which most likely I will take my MacBook charger with me so that I can charge quickly. Tide to go is always important. So anywhere I go traveling, Tide to go is something I always carry with me, and that's because you just never know when you're going to get the stain and you want something very, very quick to be able to clean up very quickly. Now this is something that Lofree sent me. So Lofree sent me a work keyboard that I can take with me portably. I do have like a Newfie, I do have other ones, but I did want to try a Lofree in the first place. So this is going to be my time taking this with me. Let me just give you guys a quick sound test. So I'm going to take this with me to Korea. This is going to be my work board where I'm going to be able to do some editing, stuff like that with this. So we'll see how this is. Honestly, with portability and stuff, it's not too heavy, but it kind of does weigh heavy on the right side there. It's pretty thin, not too thin, but not too bad. And hopefully we'll see what I can do with this while I'm on my trip. And I'll give you guys kind of like an in-between update with this specific board as well. Sorry, small intercession here. I know you guys are here to watch the Korea and Japan trip, but I want to remind you guys, I have a giveaway going on. if you comment on any of my videos that's posted this specific week since Sunday, which is going to be June 28th to July 5th, you'll be able to enter into the current giveaway. One entry per video in terms of the comments. So even if you comment multiple times, you're not going to get multiple entries. Keep in mind, shipping is not covered by me. The shipping will be covered by the winner. So please keep in mind this fact. And it's going to be the Gravistar V60 Pro Deluxe Edition. So make sure to get in on the giveaway and check out the Discord channel. Links in the description, and you can get more information there, as well as the winner will be announced there and the video that comes up on Monday. So I'll have to catch you guys with that specific giveaway, but let's go back into the trip. So we're going to be heading towards Korea, but because my Korea trip in the beginning was quite short, you'll see here that I was actually at Seongsu-dong. So this is where the actual SM Entertainment, one of their offices is, and I actually ended up going to this egg tart place. Now, I heard this egg tart place was supposed to be very, very good, so we actually came in here to take a look. It is called Pick Bake. Now, keep in mind, I actually did a full health checkup the first week that I was in Korea, because I just wanted to do a full checkup. I'm like over 30 now, and I thought it'd be really good to just do it. So this is going to be the first day of really being able to properly eat some stuff. So my first beginning of the trip really wasn't eating many things, and it was really cool to be able to try this out. Now, this was really good. It was very soft with a good crunch to it, and if you are in Korea, I would highly recommend trying out this egg tart. It is very nice. Now, as you can see here, this is the alleyway. This area had a lot of people here, and then we actually went to a katsu place right after. Now, I actually didn't end up being there for too long. The next day, I actually flew out to Sapporo. So I went to Sapporo, Japan, and this is where it's going to be the most majority of my trip is the Japan stuff in terms of my filming. I already uploaded my trip with the keyboard stuff, so you guys will see mostly Japan here. Now, overall, I do love Japan. I think Sapporo is a very nice place that you should go visit. It's a little bit more peaceful. This is downtown Sapporo. This is going to be where the Panasonic clock tower is, and I think that this area is quite chill. So I did arrive on a Saturday, and this is actually going to be the Sunday because we arrived on the Saturday, just arrived in the middle of the day. Then we looked around a little bit, and then of course went around. Now, we also went to this nice park. I heard that this is going to be where some cherry blossoms would be. So we actually took a car. We rented a car going through Sapporo. I highly recommend you do rent a car when you do visit Japan, Sapporo, because it's not super easy to go around with transit. There is some in the downtown area, but I highly recommend renting a car to go around. After that little area, we actually went to the Sapporo Museum. Of course, this is going to be the Sapporo Beer Museum, and you must go here if you do visit Sapporo. Obviously, this is where the beer is going to be, and they have the museum where they actually let you see the history of it. It was really cool to see like just the small bits of history of the whole brand and where they came from and how they came to be, as well as the different changes, and of course go to the testing. So we actually got to taste test it. You do have to pay, so there's a free museum portion and there's a paid museum portion. We went to the free one, and then afterwards you can actually buy a ticket to order yourself a beer. Now, the paid portions allow you for some tastings, and then they also give you some more history and explanation. Now, I actually did try a little bit of the beer. I do love taste of beer, and it does taste really good. It's a little bit light, but it was nice. And then for dinner, we actually went to this curry soup place, a soup curry place. Then the next day, we actually headed to these Rokkan. You actually have to drive here. It's a really far drive. It's about an hour drive. So I actually drove all the way with my family. I was the designated driver, and near this Rokkan is this really nice river. It's a very peaceful place. It is far off, but make sure you do get there safely. Now, I actually ended up going to Tokyo, and in Tokyo, I had to walk and, of course, take a look and visit Yashakobo. So, Yashakobo is the keyboard place in Japan. I know a lot of people heard of it, so I also had to go visit. I actually ended up walking about 35 minutes from where I was in Ginza to actually go visit, but I really want to see what this is all about and just see if they had any cool stuff. So you saw the Agar Mini there. They have this little computer that you can actually test some switches. It tells you which switch it is when you press it, which is really cool. So it's programmed to tell you what it is, and I was actually quite surprised. Got to test out some things. I actually wanted to buy something here while I was visiting. They
unfortunately didn't have any retro J's available, so I couldn't buy a single retro J. But I ended up buying HMX retro J's once I got back to Canada. Now, you can also see here they do have the Pangea Minis, so they had some just available on the store with the stock. Unfortunately, I didn't really have the money at this time because I spent too much money during my travel to really purchase one. I actually really considered it. Honestly speaking, I heavily considered just purchasing one while I was there, but I didn't want to overspend my budget, especially because there are so many other keyboards that I did have to purchase, and I do have to purchase, especially with so many keyboards this summer. Now, the nighttime in Japan is always just so nice, so colorful, and so much lights. Now, a little bit of intersection here. I did do some editing while I was during my trip, and I did test out the low-free, and the low-free is actually pretty cool. I think overall, it's not a bad travel one, but I would highly recommend not using a full-size one for your travels. The overall board, I think, was decent with the work, everything, but as I said, it's a decent board for travel purposes only, and for some people that like low profiles, especially if a Mac, it will work well for you. Now, this was my last meal before I had to go, so I did go and get myself some pork belly and, of course, pork and other different meats. So I went to a Korean barbecue the night before I had to go, and I just love Korean food. The whole Korea trip really was great, and I'm gonna miss Korea a lot. I'm probably gonna have to head back very soon again, but most likely we'll have to plan another trip first. And of course, I had to take an 11-hour flight back on the Korean Air with a nice infotainment, but I will have to catch you guys next time, hopefully with another trip very soon. Please check out the giveaways and my Discord channel, and I hope to catch you guys next time.